6 months ago, I stopped uploading in this YouTube channel, not because I quit trading, but because I blew more evaluation accounts than I'm proud to admit. 2 months ago, I got my first funded account payout of $800. Today, I got my second payout of $500, and I'm going to show this to you live. But more importantly, I'm going to show you two things in this video. One, what actually fundamentally changed in my trading life. It was not my strategy. It was more about a psychological shift that I made that I'm now funded with $125,000, and I've become a little bit more consistent. And then second, I actually show you a live trade, a replay of a trade that I took, and I made $336 in about 3-4 minutes. So hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, so this is a video where I'm just going ahead, and you can see I'm in my funded next futures account. I had my first payout with this prop firm, $800, and I'm going to be now withdrawing another $500. So let's see, payout request. I want to withdraw total amount 500. Let's see what happens next. Go to my Rise. Submit. Send to my email. Let's check that out. Okay. Confirm. Payout is being processed, if not completed, whatever, right? So it's over there. So I want to show this to you. Let's go back to accounts, maybe payouts. Pending amount 500, 800 dispersed amount. Maybe I should go to Rise and do a few things to make sure it goes through. So let's go through that. Another code is being sent. Let's see where that is. Come on, computer. Okay, let's put that over here. Okay, balance. So this is what I withdrew on October 16th. Let's see if I don't have anything yet. So it's still pending here. So once it's moved from pending to disburse, it'll come into my Rise account. Once it's done, I can do that. So bottom line, I want to show you that totally so far in my journey, I've been trading from 2020, March 2020, okay, when COVID hit. It took me a lot of time. March 2020 was when I first got into trading, day trading, as a matter of fact. I saw somebody on YouTube that basically in the COVID crash, he put in $200,000, and in less than 2 months of trading, he took that $200,000 to about 2 point some million dollars, so 10x. And I was hooked. I was like, I looked into trading before, but I was never really actively involved. And this time I was like, okay, my SEO business is going okay, but now with COVID, who knows what's going to happen? I needed to look into another source of income, number one. Number two, I've always been fascinated by the market, stock market, crypto, buying and selling. I followed, I've seen, I know there are people out there with a click of a few buttons make tens of thousands of dollars a day, not just a month, right? So what most people make in a year, sometimes there are guys in the market who make in minutes, okay, within days. And I was like, maybe one day I can do that too. So I got into it. And from March 2020, for the next 3 or 4 years, maybe 4 years, I would say, till June 2024, I was trying different kinds of trading. Options trading mainly is what I got into. Within options trading, I looked into swing trading, day trading. Eventually, for my personality, my lifestyle, I have a full-time business, SEO agency. I do some SEO coaching. I wanted to spend time with my family and kids and not just be glued to the computer. So I zeroed down on my style of trading, which was literally trading one instrument, which was NASDAQ futures. This was over time, basically, okay? And that too, scalping. So within the first 1 hour of the New York market open 9:30 to 10:30 in that time frame is when I started seeing most of my results, if you will, most of my success. So I just kind of focused on that, zeroed in on trading NASDAQ. So eventually it was ES and NQ. I would always have those two instruments side by side. I would mainly watch ES. My style, in another video I'll go into that, is looking into Fibonacci levels, resistance, support, stochastic RSI, MACD. Okay, a little bit of RSI, but mostly those four, right? Fibs, stochastic RSI, MACD, okay, and then support and resistance, and scalping futures. And I must have bought and sold, I'm sorry, bought and lost a ton of evaluation accounts in the prop firm, right? The futures props industry, more than I care to admit how much I spent, to be honest, right? Um, Over time, October of 2025, which is a couple of months ago, I got my first payout from Funded Futures, $800. And then now you saw I'm taking my second payout of $500. And then I also want to show you that right now I'm funded on Top Step. This is my Top Step funded account, about $1,000. So I've traded about 3 days, or you can only count 2 days because Top Step has its own rules. Every prop firm has different rules. So in this Top Step's rules is that you have to have a minimum of $150 profit day to be counted as a day, and you can trade for 5 days before being able to withdraw 50%. So I'm funded Top Step of $1,000. I'm funded on Tradify, $470 profit so far, and you can see here every day I make about $127 in one day, $74 in one day, 28. So very small base hits. As a matter of fact, these 2 days were crazy days. Actually, all three of these days were crazy days because one day, as I was in the middle of a trade, my kid's school called me saying my kid is throwing up. I got to come pick her up. Another day, I was not too well with the flu and all that. So just going through life, Tradify, and then I'm also funded a Lucid funded account, about $1,000 profit. So my previous self, even 2 months ago, would have just been like, man, I'm so close to pay out here. I'm so close to pay out here. I'm so close to pay out here. Let's rush it. But these days, I'm just trading slow base hits. I'm copy trading. And I had my rules. I had my math. I'm about $125,000 in funded accounts, right? And I'm just going for 1% a week. So that's about $1,000 a week. And if you break that down, it literally comes to $50 to $100 a day. If I make in each account, I'm happy. I'm copy trading it, right? And you can see some days I make a lot more. Some days I make a lot less. But I'm just going with that. And so just want to share that with you guys. Also, want to let you guys know that when I got my first payout of $800 back in October, 2 months ago, my first payout didn't actually make me disciplined. It actually made me dangerous, right? I was like, oh my God, I got my first payout. Now I got it. And I went and bought so many evaluation accounts, right? If you go here, I actually want to be so transparent on this. I want to go to Breach, and you can see here, I got pages of pages of pages, right? Each one of these is a $99 account that I would pay. And you can see I breached it. Sometimes I would buy one account, and because you can pass the evaluation account and make $1,500 and pass it in one day, I would over leverage, over trade, and within minutes I would blow it, right? It took me 2 months from October to December of this blowing it up, being so mad at myself, eventually realizing, what am I doing? Why should I go blow all this up, right? I know my edge works. I know my strategy works. It's my discipline, my psychology. And so I started writing down a set of rules. And that's what made me, I guess, I don't want to say successful. I'm still so new. a little bit more consistent, right? So now I got another $500 pending amount. I'm waiting for that to hit my bank. But then I'm close with all of these Lucid account, Lucid Trading, Top Step, and Tradify, and it's due December 21st, right? If you know anything about the rules, let's say in Lucid Trading, I've met 5 days out of 5 days to be able to make a withdrawal, right? My previous self, even 2 months ago, would be like, man, how can I maximize so I can make a withdrawal within 5 days? These days, my new self, my new identity in trading is I just want to take base hits. If I see a good setup like the one I showed you, let me show you exactly, right? If I see a good setup like this, where I know it's near resistance, stochastic is high, RSI is high, MACD is curving, it's going to come down. I will take a trade here. I'll put a stop loss above this resistance line, and I will take a profit, right? Or a loss if it goes above, right? But this 1 minute candle was enough to make $300 with micro NASDAQ contracts. Previously, I would have loaded up on NASDAQ and I would have blown the account because even one small wick going up would have blown my account, right? So now when I take the trades, I'm not panicking because I'm playing it very, very safe. So my 2026 plan is I'm right now over $125,000 in funded accounts. By January or February, I'm giving myself 30, maybe 60 days. I don't want to rush it. I want to get to $300,000 in funded accounts. So maybe once I get a payout, another couple of payouts, I will buy two 50K accounts, right, on Take Profit Trader. So that'll put me at 100K additional funded account, and maybe another two 50K accounts in Top Step or Tradify. So total of $300,000. And I'm going to copy trade them, mostly trading one, maximum two micro NQ contracts. So very, very small base hits. And my goal is every week, just hit 1%. So if I have, for example, let me share my screen again one more time. So in this Lucid 25K account, right? If I just do 1% a week is my goal, that's 1% is $250, right? So every week, my goal is to only make $250. That's it. So I'm waiting, I'm not rushing. Now, obviously, you can see in 1 week I made $1,000. So if the setup is good, you can make the money. But I'll be happy just making $250 a week. That's about $50 a trading day, right? And that's on 125K account. So if I have $300,000 of prop firm funded account, that means 1% is $3,000 a week. That means $12,000 a month at 80% or 90% payout, which is what usually prop firms give. I can make about $10,000 a month conservatively without rushing for it and things like that. Okay, so that's my goal in the first quarter of 2026. I'm not rushing it. This trading income is not my primary income yet. My SEO income is my primary income, but eventually one of my goals this year, within the first half of the year, I'm writing down December 21st, I'm putting my goals and plans and systems in place for 2026. One of my goals is by June, make this my primary income so I can live off of my trading income, my living expenses taken care, $12,000 to $15,000 a month coming in. Okay, and my living expense is not 15,000, but I'm taking taxes into account. But that's taken care. And so my SEO agency and my coaching and everything else is literally pure profit. It's play money. If I take a loss, my lifestyle is not impacted. I can play and I can scale and I can profit and I can grow. So hope it makes sense, guys. Just want to throw my journey out there. Exciting times ahead. But I'll tell you, if anyone's just getting into trading, it will cut you in and show you what inside you, and you have to change. You are forced to change as a person. The strategy and the edge you will learn in a couple of months in trading. But what takes most traders 4 or 5 years to become consistent is putting yourself together. I had to put myself in place. So I had to put rules. I don't over trade. I don't take more than 2 trades a day. If I don't feel good, if I had an argument with my wife or my kids spoiled my mood or a client gave me a hard time, I don't trade that day. Or I make sure if my mood is not, my vibration is not good, I don't trade, because that's almost always going to impact me negatively. So 2026 is going to be awesome. I'm going to be throwing a lot more videos out here, my strategy, my skill, just teaching and sharing what has worked for me. So hopefully it may work for you guys. All right. So with that, over and out. So this is a trade I want to show you that I took. Made about $336. This was just about 5 or 10 minutes before market opened, so around 9:20 a.m. on Friday. This is a Lucid funded account. I also have an evaluation account. I made a lot more on that on Friday, but in this video, I want to show a little bit about. So I have a total of $1,054 profit. That's over 5 days I've traded. I met the consistency goal. Lucid trading funded rules are you got to have a buffer of $1,100 and then make more than that, at least $500, I believe, and meet consistency rule of under 40% to be able to qualify for a payout. So I'm getting closer, but I want to run over the trade that I took, $336 profit. So I took it in trade away. You can see here. It was around December 19th, so that's a Friday. Really, it shows a lot of trades. It was really me adding these micro NQ contracts 2 at a time because I saw something on the chart, and that's when I want to go, right? So I started this at 9:24. Let's see here, 9:24, and every few seconds, I was adding 2 more contracts, MNQ. You see that at 53 seconds, 9:24, 57, 9:24, 59, and then what was that? 9:25:01, and then 9:25:01, and then I started selling this. If you can see it, okay. Why did I do that? Let's go to the trading chart. So this is I have ES. And I have NQ side by side. I always trade that side by side. And these yellow lines are pre-marked before. And I'm on the 1-minute chart right here, right? So this yellow line, if you go back on the EQ, was resistance in the pre-market. When it broke through, it was support on the pre-market. Okay, so the resistance, it broke through, it was support. Okay, then when it came down and it broke down, it tried to hit it again and hit it again. It was resistance. It came all the way down and then it came and hit here. Okay, so let's zoom in on the 1-minute chart. So 11:24 is this candle here, 11:24. So I saw this 3-4 minutes of price kind of basing, trying to hit it, and go around that. So same here in the NASDAQ, right? 9:24 is over here, but I saw it, kind of, if you see here, EQ was just basing right there. NQ was going a little bit up, but stochastic RSI was very high on both. RSI was very high over here, okay? And MACD, you can see here, was kind of slowly sloping down. It gained momentum and it looked like it was sloping down. So by the time 9:24 came around this, I knew it was going to come down, right? RSI was very high. Even if it was just for a little bit, it's going to come down. So I started adding at 9:24, 53 seconds. Okay, 9:24 is over here. I always look at ES and NQ together. And I want to see what's happening. So here, if you see, price was kind of, it was not really going up, if you can see here, okay? It was just like basing here. There was basing here, there was 1 wick on the top at 9:24, but it came down. I knew at that point when it was pushed down that this resistance was, coming into play. In NQ's case, it was going up a little bit, and that's kind of divergence is what I call SMT, where ES shows one thing, is either flat or coming down, and NQ goes up. So that's kind of what's called SMT divergence, and it's going to just come down. So around this 9:24 minute, right at this line here, 9:24, I saw this candle push down. I saw a big push down over here with ES, and so that's when I took the first 2 contracts, 9:23, 9:24 at 53 seconds, 57 seconds, 59 seconds. So I started taking in here, and then when it started opening up here at 9:25. It opened up here, I bought a couple of more at 1 second, and just the beginning of that. Okay, these two more. So total of about I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 contracts at micro NQ, right? But just about a little over one NQ, if you will, one mini, right? You get the idea, right? And when it came boom, when I was doing this, I wanted to, I was adding on here, adding on here, adding on here. I knew it was just a matter of time. It was going to come down. And I knew I had to take my profit quick because it could just be a quick dip like you saw here. And it came down, boom. And you can see I started selling at around 55, 920, wherever that was. Am I not seeing this properly? Okay, I started selling around 922, 920, 924. Okay, 922, 922, 923, 924. So let's take a look at that. So around here, 924 and 925, I started taking it. So I think I was taking it around 920s, and then I started selling. So 2-3 minutes, if you can see it, right? And then when this big candle came down, boom, I sold all, and that's my profit, about 354 gross, which translated after fees and all that to $336, right? So it's usually if you draw these resistance and support levels, and there is some reaction around that. And if you understand NQ, let me just make this bigger. This one big candle, okay, it was from this point here, so 6843 to about the bottom of this tick was 6835. So 6843 to 6835, if you really see, that's like 12 points on one candle. And that was enough, right? If you do the math, I had 10 contracts, each $2 on the mini, times, I don't know how many points I took. Let's just say 10 on an average, right? That's 200, right? I probably had a little bit more because I was actually trading. I had bought it at this levels also, so around somewhere here on this candle, so from 44 to 35, so about 11, 12, 13 points, right? If you do the math, 13, 14, whatever it is, right? Maybe a little bit more than that. Okay, I think I came in at 23, 21 around here, right? And that was enough to make my $336 done for the day before the market even opened. So hope it makes some sense, guys.